stone, shattered remnants, struggle to get back.
Hey, this is Tony Tattoo coming at you from the wonderful Kildares Pub in the deep southwest of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. It is 2020. All right, and I'm pissed off. You know why? I haven't seen one George Jetson flying car yet. I am really let down. All right. Okay, so all you techie people, which, hey, all you people, we talked about that. Right? Can you follow instructions?
Never have.
All right. So anyway, today I'm with the panel, wonderful panel. We got DJ Kaz, Retro Queen. We got Dan the Rat Man. We got Shauna Hardy. And we got Richie Rich, who can't follow directions. All right.
Boy, we need some weed here today.
Which, good point. Now that edibles are legal now.
Yay!
So, panel, you want to weigh in on that? Legal edibles.
Yay! Awesome. Fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah.
Whatever works for you.
Dan the Rat Man.
Tax the shit out of it, give it to the kids.
There you go.
Not the drugs, like the tax
easier
money.
on your throat than the bong.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Richie Rich?
Don't make it look like kids' candy.
Oh.
Go with it.
That's the fun part, though.
Okay, but being it's 2020, let's do a little rundown. January 1st. All right, you know, everybody. By the way, I'm going to throw out a big shout out to Dan the Rat Man's band. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'll look at one thing to say: The Darkness. That is one song that either you pass or you fail. There is no in between. And nailed it.
Flying colors.
Nailed it.
Flying colors.
My jaw's on the ground.
It was a lot of fun from myself and the band. Thank you, Kildares. Thank you to anybody who came down, people who don't necessarily know the band I play with and just know me from this and came down and saw it. Hopefully I changed some opinions or wowed you, or even if I sucked, I don't really give a fuck. I got your money. So
Oh, we formed.
I got paid either way. I don't really care.
By the way, the band's called Johnny Blackout, so I will shamelessly plug your band.
All right.
All right.
It made me faint and scream.
Alrighty.
That's the first time I've ever done that to a woman. So.
So January 1st, you know, everything seemed, you know, new decade going very well, all things considered. January 2nd, Australia appears to be on fire as a continent.
Again?
Yeah, exactly. It's a rotation. And then January 3rd, World War III is announced. So,
I missed that one.
and I went, wow, that escalated quickly.
I missed that.
Well,
That's because you don't look at the news.
okay, so
It's too depressing. That's why I don't.
So basically, the
It is what it is.
The U.S. killed this the top Iranian general, and because it's 2020, everyone said it's World War III. Just like when someone in 2020 goes for brunch and they're like, "Oh my God, the best brunch literally I've ever had in my entire fucking life." Probably not true. Or, "Oh my God, this dance on this show was epic." It wasn't. It was just a fucking dance. And just like everything else you people think is the best or the greatest thing that's ever happened in the history of the planet, World War III is not happening. It's another fucking Middle Eastern skirmish, like the first Iranian war was, like the first Desert Storm was, like Kosovo in the 90s, like the Iraq invasion, like Afghanistan, like Pakistan. It's not fucking World War III. It's been happening since the fucking Berlin Wall fell. So get over yourself. It's not that exciting. It's the same shit the U.S. always fucking does and is always gonna do.
Yep.
Saber rattling.
And you're Canadian. And especially in Calgary. There's no U.S. major cities, so even if Iran somehow becomes nuclear capable, somehow gets a missile that can get that nuclear warhead over to the U.S., they're gonna strike the U.S. And there's no major U.S. cities anywhere near Calgary. You're fine. Fucking stop worrying about it.
There you go. All right. Shauna Lee, what do you think?
Honestly, I think he just pretty much summed it up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty
Richie
much.
Rich.
Yep.
I think they reached out and killed 63 Canadians.
I was gonna say that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is that how do you actually
Murder.
Yeah, how do you
Straight
actually
murder.
keep doing your terrorist thing without any U.S. citizens being involved? That was targeted. It was meant to happen. They planned it, and now they're going and they got caught out with it. And now they're going, oh no, this mistake was human error. Well, no, it was a human act. It wasn't a human error.
Sorry, I want to change one thing. it wasn't just 63 Canadians, it was 173 human beings.
Human beings,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Innocent.
Exactly.
And don't think that Iran is there was 83 Iranians on board. They killed their own.
They have been for thousands of
That's
years.
what that regime's all about. They'll
They have been
trash
for
her.
thousands of years.
Yeah, exactly.
But now they're reaching out to all of us.
So our Prime Minister won an extended vacation to the tune of about 4 military jets that he used for family and friends to go to Costa Rica to spend probably 7 more days than the average Canadian gets for a holiday over Christmas. And I wish, and he left Krista Freeland the keys to the city and in charge. And so I was just hoping that, he should have told us he was going to retire before he got elected.
I got a suggestion.
Same old, same old.
Yeah.
Same old, same old. I can't wait for him to be voted out.
Danny.
I saw he's growing a beard, and it really makes me want to shave mine. I don't want any.
I was waiting for that.
I don't want any association with that
That's hilarious.
peanut picker.
Yeah. Sean?
Oh, you know how I feel about him.
Yeah.
He's.
Well, we're paying for the jets anyhow. Let's fly them over Iran, see what happens.
Say, plus he's. I
Maybe
saw
we'll get lucky.
something about they're giving 1.5 million to Iran, is it? Or
Yeah.
When those.
He already did.
Yeah.
Yeah, way back when.
Yeah, like
When he was trying to get on the
he's
UN
just-
and
he's
trying to be a
just-
bigwig.
Well, did you see the picture of him with all the constituents and all the leaders and stuff and on the web or whatever?
Yeah.
He was the only white. Well, him and one other guy were the only white guys in there.
Yeah.
And they're all, and not to be racist, not at all, but you notice they're all of color and all of different ethnicities, and him and the
Yeah.
other guy are the only 2 white guys.
Yeah.
He
So-
hates that he's white.
And the
He hates
union.
being white.
He hates that he's white.
He's half Cuban.
I
Yes, exactly. He is half
Jesus.
Cuban.
Old
He
Fidel
can
himself.
also bring
We
up
know
the
who his
UN.
real father actually was.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Bring up the UN again. Probably the most useless organization on the entire planet. Basically leaders from banana republics and shithole countries, and I'll say it, shithole countries that band together and basically directing our traffic. Fuck you. That's it, as far as they're concerned. And as far as our leadership of our government, our junior hockey team showed more leadership than any government official could possibly show. Guys, the junior hockey team, it was Rocky IV, wasn't it?
Oh,
Yay!
What a game.
I
Woohoo!
missed it.
You missed it? Oh, it was
Great
amazing.
comeback.
Well, first of all, everybody knows that the
Dan,
junior
it was
team.
epic.
I hear great things, but football was on, and I made a choice.
Yes.
probably the best hockey game, hands down, in the last
Absolutely.
10 to 12 years.
Now,
Bear in mind that
from-
they lost 6-0 to a previous Russian game.
From
Yeah.
someone
They got their asses kicked.
from someone who keeps a tab on, I'll keep my finger on it. Like I know what's going on in the world of international hockey, but I don't really give a shit about international hockey. I find it boring as opposed to regular NHL hockey, so I don't really watch it. But from what I'm understanding from an outside perspective is that the only reason Canada won is because of a blown call by the refs. Because the puck hit the
no.
camera, and the puck went over the glass, and it should have been called, and it wasn't. So
Well, it hit the camera.
yeah,
so
we
they
can
rolled
we can we
across.
can celebrate and be happy, but from what I read and understand, we
Yeah.
got away with one.
Anyway, so it's a new year, new me.
Sorry,
and
I couldn't hear you.
talk about New Year's resolutions. I made one back in 1994, never to make any more New Year's resolutions. Mission accomplished. I am successful. DJ Katz,
New Year's resolution?
New Year's resolutions. Yeah, you got one this year? Or did you? Are you taking
To
a
get another
chapter?
pug.
To get another pug. Ooh. All right, we're well on track for that.
Yeah, Stevie's coming on the 25th of Jan.
Named after.
Stevie Nicks!
Ooh,
Yay.
that's good for a pug.
Yeah.
Is it a girl?
Yep.
Yay!
Yep.
Oh,
She's
that'll
6
be nice.
weeks old. Pick her up on the 25th.
I can't wait to see
She's
her.
Yeah,
It's about
adorable.
this big.
That's really good for a pug for Stevie Nicks because pugs got all smashed up faces and they have massive breathing problems, just like Stevie Nicks because of all the cocaine.
Oh my
Oh
God.
boy!
Wah, wah, wah.
That's not really a resolution,
How
though, is
did
it?
you
But
get
yeah,
that out of that?
it is, because I'm
Stevie
going to be a
Nicks
mom
did a
again.
shit ton of cocaine.
So did everybody
So did
back then.
everybody.
Yeah,
I'm not saying she's a bad
everybody
person.
still does a shit amount of cocaine today. It
I'm not
doesn't
saying
matter
she's a
whether
bad
it's for
person
her.
for it. I'm just saying that's a good name for a pug because they both
I'm
Well,
still wondering
mine-
why
Because I got no
cocaine's
septum.
popular. It's like fucking.
Our Stevie's a little crazy little shit, so that's probably very true.
Well, if I
She's
talk
gonna
to
be
if I
running
talk
around
to
in circles.
if I talk to Lindsey Buckingham, he'd probably say the same thing.
Yeah.
Come on, that shows you
Get another boy and call
how
him
badass she is. She doesn't sing about what a prick her husband is. She actually makes him play guitar while she sings about what a prick he is. So, anyway, Dan Ratman, what do you got for a New Year's resolution, or are you following the same
I don't
trend?
have a New Year's resolution. I don't think I ever have. I do think it's funny on social media where I look at these like fucking trash people that I know. And in 2018, they're like, 2017 was so bad. 2018 is going to be my year. And then in 2019, they're like, 2018 sucked, but 2019, I'm coming back. And if you need the fucking calendar to roll over to get your shit together, you're not going to get your shit together. We can all tell. If you're one of the people who think that the calendar changing to January, everything's just going to... It's not going to flip over. You're still going to be a piece of shit. You're
Still gonna suck. Shauna.
I don't know. I would say more pay it forward. We do nice things for people. I know I don't want to be like the fruity tooty chick, but more pay it forward. I think
that's
just
proper.
Be nice
Fun.
to people.
Yeah.
Be like, I love when I go through Tim Hortons drive-through and like they're like, yeah, the guy in front of you paid for your lunch today. Like,
Yeah.
stuff, just little things like
Yes.
that.
That is awesome.
I just love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Really cute.
It makes your day.
It makes
that
your
kind of
whole
thing
day.
happen.
Sure.
Yes,
Even
it
a
makes
kind
it makes
word.
it makes you believe in humanity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is why I love all those women that are making the little pouches for the animals in Australia for the little what do you call them, the baby? What do you call the kangaroo?
Joeys.
Joeys.
Joey.
Thank you, from the peanut gallery.
Hey, Peanut.
I love that. All these women are making these little pouches for the Joeys and sending them to Australia.
I know.
That is paying it forward, and it's a small thing, and they're making them out of Canadian flag.
Like is it a little coffin or?
No, they're little pouches, not coffins. Don't be bad. It's for the ones that are surviving it.
For the little
Oh.
babies that don't have mama's pouch to curl into.
Oh.
Because mamas
Yeah.
aren't there anymore.
Yeah, so there's also
Give us a
a
program.
huge. I mean, a lot of people donating a lot of money to that cause, and a lot of actually volunteer firefighters. You probably allude to this. A bunch of volunteer firefighters being sent from Canada. Well, they're not being sent. They're going. United States helping Australia, and then that whole situation got down there.
Good
New Year's
point.
resolution.
Good point. They went. They didn't get sent.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Do you got any-
I'm going to be consistent. Just like the last 20 years, I screwed up badly, so I'm just going to screw up 2020.
Okay.
Nothing changes, right?
All right. So fuck
Status
up before, fuck
quo.
up again. All right. Cool.
At least you know that.
At least you're,
So-
at
Yeah,
least you're
like, am I going to be vain about it?
consistent.
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck up next year just as bad as it. Well, maybe not as bad as the last 2 years. You know,
Oh, so you're trying to improve.
there'll still be fuck ups.
All right. Well, yeah. Don't we all? So a guy got fired over tweeting that he was fired from a company for bagging about the fact that he got a $6 bottle of barbecue sauce as a Christmas gift. So he got canned for it, and then he went on social media and had a big scream about it. And I'm saying, like, dude, free condiments are a wise and noble gift.
No, it's
They-
free.
Free barbecue sauce.
That's free condoms.
Yeah, well, too bad his
Free
parents didn't
condiments.
have. Too bad his
Barbecue
parents didn't
sauce.
have one.
Free condoms.
Yeah, too bad his parents didn't have one.
Condoms and condiments.
Find a noble gift.
Summer flavor.
So you deserve to get fired. Go find another job. You know what? It was free. It was the thought that counted, right? Harvey Weinstein got caught by the judge texting in court during a jury selection process. Harvey Weinstein, as we all know, is a guy that's being charged for sexual assault on actresses, and also started single-handedly the hashtag #MeToo movement. Well, he didn't start it, but he instigated.
Wasn't that Bill Cosby that started that?
What's that?
Wasn't that Bill Cosby?
Oh, Bill Cosby. No, he. Yeah, no, they finally just caught on, because Harvey Weinstein was, the big mogul in the movie industry, and so it kind of just begs the question: does he know something we don't, or is he actually truly disconnected from the planet Earth? Thoughts?
He's definitely disconnected from the planet Earth.
Yeah.
He's a monster.
Yeah. So he was basically, the judge turned around and said to him, "Listen, do you really know what's going on here?" He's like,
Why is he
Did
allowed
anybody
to have a
ever
phone
actually
in
ask that
court?
question? Does he actually know what's going on?
I don't know. But did you see him? He's got his walker. So he's. This is funny. He's got his walker. He's going up. Just really looking pathetic as possible. Gets to a set of stairs. There goes the. Ow.
Steady.
There goes the fucking walker up the stairs, fucking, and gets handed the walker again, and there he's back off. It's like, oh my god, how more.
He's playing the victim.
Fuck, he's not even a good actor. Never mind a producer.
Why are they allowing him to have a phone in the courtroom anyway?
Exactly.
I don't think anybody.
It's only jury selection.
Yeah.
Oh, it's jury selection, yes.
What do you think there, Dan the Rant?
Unpopular opinion.
Of course.
I don't know. I'd really have to delve into the case and be a part of it. I'd have to see if any of these women said no and had Harvey force himself upon them. If not, then they traded sexual favors for movie roles and they prostituted themselves, and now they're pissed off about it that their careers dried up, it looks like. I don't know. That's what it looks like from a weird outside unpopular opinion. I'm wearing the black hat on this one. This isn't necessarily my thoughts or opinions. I'm just saying.
And there we go.
Just saying.
Commentary from the dark side.
I'm just saying. If none of these girls said no, and he was like, hey, watch me jerk off in the shower, and they're like, okay, and then they got a movie role for it. You made that trade. I'm sorry. You can't be upset about it years later. You fucking sold your soul.
Yes, you can. It's
No.
2020.
You sold your fucking soul for that shit. You made that decision. I don't fucking buy a lemon of a car and go back to the dealership and start a hashtag and a movement and take the dealership to court. You made that trade. I'm sorry. That sucks. I get it. He took advantage of you. You were young. You had stars in your eyes. And he took advantage of you. And that is absolutely fucking wrong.
Speak as if you have experience.
Yeah, nobody should take advantage of somebody like that. That is wrong. I'm not debating that. But you knowingly made that trade. You buttered your bread. Time to eat it.
So you're
Sorry.
saying you swim with the sharks long enough, you're going to get bit?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry.
A lot of these women were lured up to his hotel room to talk about a movie role, and yes, they may have been naive about that, but they didn't go up there expecting him to walk out of the shower or walk out naked.
True.
And a lot of them were sexually harassed, and a lot of them did not fall for it.
Okay.
And I know Brad Pitt, Gwyneth Paltrow was sexually harassed, and he got him up against the wall, and he never touched her again. He never went near her again. That guy should have been arrested long ago.
Right, and the whole thing is that for those things for normal people in normal society is that you charge people, you bring them up in court, you go, this is assault, this is this.
But they
the charges are there.
They didn't want to lose their fucking.
But then that is a decision that
as adults they made.
But that is the problem. I mean, like they could. Okay, he comes out of the hotel room, he comes out of the shower naked. You don't want to see that shit, you leave. But you stay and watch him jerk off, and then you get a movie role 20 years down the road. You can't be like, man, I didn't like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. However,
he didn't hold anybody down.
Exactly. It wasn't like they're going to get whacked if they didn't watch him jerk off when he walked out of the shower.
They just didn't get that movie part.
Right. Richie Rich, you're bursting?
I don't know. It's tough.
Regardless of how many allegations are against him, whether it's 20, 25.
Well, there's two in court.
Okay, well, regardless of the number, and I'm sure there'll be more pop up. If these women, like you say, did whatever they did to get ahead in life, that's one thing. And they agreed to it at the time, well, suck it up, bury your face, whatever. You can't bring it up now. But if he has done this to one person forcefully, and she didn't have a choice, fuck you, brother.
Absolutely.
Well, there you go.
And this court
That's straight up,
case is a rape,
right?
a rape case, right? This woman.
Yeah, it's sexual
If
assault.
19
Sexual assault.
are false and one's legit, hang them.
Absolutely.
But prove it.
Okay.
It has to be proved.
So if he comes out of the room naked, is that sexual assault?
No.
If he,
No, I'm putting myself
not
in this
assault.
situation.
No, he's just saying if he actually.
You mean by the
raped
letter of the
somebody.
law?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's actually raped somebody.
Well, then, yeah.
No, walking out of his room naked or whatever is like that's basically what is it? Flashing
That's
yourself or what?
Indecent exposure.
Indecent
Yes.
exposure.
Oh my God, get over it. It's just a hand job. Big deal. We've all done it. I've done it for free, for fuck's sake.
I'm
Get over
putting
it. It's a hand
myself.
job.
I'm putting myself.
Coming from
in
Shauna
one of
Lee,
those situations.
Diawana. Shauna
Seriously,
Diawana.
ladies, get over it. It's a hand
All
job. Jesus Christ.
But Harvey
It's a big deal.
Weinstein, Shauna?
Huh?
You'd have given Shauna Weinstein a hand job?
Shauna
Well, you would have
Weinstein?
given Harvey Weinstein a hand job?
I'd give Harvey Weinstein a
You know what,
fucking hand job if
honestly?
it meant a multi-million-dollar movie career.
When I was in my early 20s and I was
And you'd
just
shut
young
up
and
about
I,
it,
and I
too.
wanted to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
like
You wouldn't hear
not
about it.
prostituting, but I wanted like a movie role and you know, as an actress and to
It would look a lot like this. If Dan was doing that, it would look a lot like this. It's just-
No, not me.
what 5 minutes and you're done.
No.
Like, okay, now you have a big career. Awesome.
I'm very particular about who I give jobs to.
just-
obviously not.
I'm not trying to. I'm not.
It was there.
I'm not trying to shit on a rainbow here because we're having a good discussion. But
Are
there
you
we
shitting
have.
on the rainbow?
I am shitting on the rainbow for 2 seconds.
With his unicorn.
Our drummer Neil Peart passed away on January 7th. Brain cancer. So I would just like the dais here to give us a big fuck cancer. 1, 2,
Yes.
3.
Fuck cancer!
All right. All right. So did you guys watch the Golden Globe Awards?
Yes, you did.
Did you? Did you notice?
That I watched.
I watched
Yeah.
the highlights.
Did you? I know. And you know what? I'll just do this for a second.
Let's go out with a bang. Let's have a laugh at your expense, shall we? Remember, they're just jokes. We're all going to die soon, and there's no sequel. So, we were going to do an in memoriam this year, but when I saw the list of people that had died, it wasn't diverse enough. No. It was mostly white people, and I thought, nah, not on my watch. Maybe next year. Let's see what happens. So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was.
That was absolutely the best thing I've
Grab
seen.
your little award, say thank you to your agent, your God, and fuck off.
Yeah, don't stand up here for 20 minutes and go on about politics and shit you don't
Do you know?
about.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Do you know
love that.
Ricky? Do you know Ricky was raised in the same town that I was raised in?
Right on.
Really?
that explains
UK.
a lot.
I know, right?
That explains a lot. You took the word.
All right,
It's
seriously.
in the water. It's in the water.
There's something in the
Ted.
water.
It's in the water.
There's something
in the
in the water.
water. Don't taste like what it oughta.
So I think he basically just came out and said, because it was his last time on the show, he came out and said, "This is it. Fuck it, and I'm throwing it out there. I'm going to call it the whole Hollywood elite for being who they are, what they are. You know, basically, and I've said it before. It doesn't matter whether you're a singer in a band, Dan, myself, rock stars, singers,
people.
dancers,
Couple people
actors,
have
actresses. Well, we call them all actors now. That's all inclusive.
Director.
Why don't you just directors, all that whole scene? You know what? You're entertainment people. You're circus people. You guys are there to make us laugh, cry, smile. That's it. You get paid well to do it.
Oh yeah.
So as far as anybody really caring about what you have to say about political beliefs or whether everything should be green or you want to eat a vegan meal, that's up to you, not anybody else. You don't force it down anybody else's throat because you think that you have a platform to stand on and people will actually listen to what the fuck you have to say. Thank you, Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Yes. Awesome.
Awesome
Did you
job.
say you actually watched the Golden Globes?
Yes.
Yes.
You sat down and watched the whole
He
award
does it
presentation?
because I like it.
And you guys watched...
I watched the highlights.
Which pretty much means that I have to like it.
Highlights. So
The best.
this is why actors get up there and they try to get their message across because they know a bunch of people are watching. You are giving them the platform.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then you're
Absolutely right.
chastising them for using that platform.
I didn't chastise
Hey,
them.
listen. I didn't say that. Listen, don't cross the line there. I didn't say that nobody has the freedom of speech. Everything. Thank God that we had forefathers that fought for our freedom of speech. I can sit there and go back.
Can we
and
still
I
use
can
that today?
Sure. I
Really?
can dissect it. I can just there comes consequences with freedom of speech. We know that.
That's
Look at the fact that freedom of speech was just exercised here with Ricky Gervais, and and the whole thing is the fucking social media blew up and went fucking. Yeah, it's about time somebody fucking said something, you know, especially somebody from their crew, right? And yeah, we do give them a platform.
But
Absolutely. But we give a platform to politicians. We give a platform to those people who guide our country.
Does politicians fucking matter? If you didn't watch, if nobody watched the fucking Golden Globes, it wouldn't be televised. If it wasn't televised, they wouldn't be saying that shit.
Yeah,
because it'd be in a closed-off room. They wouldn't be saying, you need to do this, and you need to do that. It'd be a bunch of Hollywood pedophiles up there saying, like, thanks for the award, I'm gonna go fuck a kid with it or some shit.
Jeez, damn! Are you?
What? Ricky Gervais makes a Jeffrey Epstein joke about being a pedophile, and they all know him. You guys think it's fucking hilarious. I make the same kind of joke, and I'm terrible? Fuck off.
We all laughed at Bill Cosby.
Oh, come on now.
We all laughed at Bill Cosby.
I didn't say a goddamn thing.
Thank you.
I guess if I said it in an accent like this, it'd be fine then, wouldn't it?
All right, mate.
Yeah, well, your Prince Philips and your Harrys and your fucking kids and your zibber zabber zibber zabber.
Yeah.
That's a Bill Cosby English accent.
You did not say
That was William Cosby.
William Cosby.
The thing
the
is, I love watching the Golden Globes, and I got Tony into it because they drink. They actually drink at these, and
Yeah, so we're just waiting for the inevitable car crash.
yeah, and it
That's what I want to see. I want to see
happen.
somebody fall when they get on stage.
That happens at the Oscars.
No, not really.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone went to the Oscars for South Park, the movie,
Yeah.
high on acid, and they wore women's
they-
dresses.
Did you watch that?
Wore women's dresses down. No,
Did
I
you
only,
watch that?
I only saw the highlights because I'm not a loser. I got shit to do on Friday nights.
It's Sunday night.
Oh, sorry, Sunday nights.
Oh, sorry. It interferes with you going to church or what?
Yes.
But no, it's kind of fun. If someone trips up the stage or makes like Al Pacino made a fantastic speech about 10 years ago, and it was
Oh yeah, speaking of speeches, what about that one Joaquin Phoenix gig?
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin,
Yeah.
whatever his name is. That guy.
Yeah.
You know what? Don't bother. It's just like he started out strong and then all of a sudden just went into Ramble Man.
So he's like,
Hey, Joaquin Phoenix, Rambling Man.
so he's like another actor who got like fucked up in the head by playing the Joker.
Wow, yeah, that guy is seriously gone. Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
gone.
he was gone.
Well, it's all the jet fuel fumes.
Yeah, from the
Yeah,
flying
it's
around
way
in his
to his
private
speech
jet.
to be a vegan.
I
There
still
you
have
go.
to say one thing though. One thing that I actually giggled about was Tom Hanks' face.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like his facial
Yes.
expressions through the whole Ricky Gervais, it was fucking
Who,
priceless.
by the by, if you ever watch any of fucking Tom Hanks movies, this is one guy you don't want to travel with.
This
Right?
is true.
Very bad luck.
He ran across the
Very
country
bad
like 5 times in that Forrest Gump movie.
Yeah, but you know, does this ring a bell? Houston, we have a problem.
I'm not going to live that down, am I?
No. Sorry, inside joke.
You know what? You're going to end up one day talking to a volleyball. That's what's going to happen to you.
Named Wilson.
Nah, at least he'll be quiet.
And his name was Wilson.
That's right. All right, so what do you got for us this week, DJ Kaz?
Well, all I have to say is Harry and Meghan.
I know,
Holy
right? Holy
moly, that's a shitstorm going on in the UK right now.
This is why your country's fucking ridiculous. A guy moves out of his grandma's house and the whole country's like, oh my god, the sky is falling. This guy moved out of his grandma's house. So is there nothing else going on?
Yeah,
It's
sure.
just like, it's raining, let's make some crumpets. This guy moved out of his grandma's house, holy fuck.
He's
It's
a
like,
grown-ass man. He should be out working like everybody else. Like, what's wrong with that? Because he's a royal, he sits on his ass and makes $7 million. He's actually doing the right thing by getting away from that family because you know what? He's gonna live probably a way happier life out of that house.
Yeah, we get him
They're
in
coming
Canada.
here.
unless he goes driving in a Paris tunnel.
Well, she's here.
Oh, too much too soon. Oh my god.
It was fucking 20 years ago!
Well, they're moving to BC, so stay off the Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh my God.
It was 20 years ago. What? Fuck, did you know her?
But everything has a reason or reaction. Kaz, what do you think about the fact the British paparazzi giving Meghan a hard time?
This is my theory.
Because they ate everybody.
This is my theory because I
You need thicker skin than
remember
anybody.
I was there when Princess Diana was alive, and the paparazzi were absolutely horrible with her, and they would deliberately call her names to make her cry so they could get that shot. And I was thinking, well, Harry, you know, it was only a few years ago that he finally released all the emotions from losing his mum, and he got very, very into mental illness charities and what have you. And I think what has happened, because he's suing British newspapers, I think, this is my theory, I'm not sure if it's fact or whatever, but I think the same thing has been happening to Meghan. And because she's biracial, I think they've probably yelled some pretty nasty N-word names at her, and you know, probably, you know, she's gone into a shell, and Harry could see that she was getting very, very upset, and doesn't want her to go down the same road as his mum. So
It's an interesting thought.
yeah, so he's made this decision to protect his family because he couldn't protect his mum. So I think the timing could have been better as far as getting it out there to the public, because obviously Elizabeth and Charles and William had no idea. They had a 10-minute warning. If they had gone through all the stuff and then made the announcement, then it would be all right. So I applaud him for, you know, he can earn his own money. He is a pilot. You know, he can work in the forces. He can.
Sure, he still has a trust fund.
Well, there's also
Well, that might, he
there's-
does have a trust fund from Diana.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sure he's got some cash.
He's got 20. I think it's 20 million from Diana, and I am pretty
I
damn
could suffer through
sure.
with that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There
that
was,
Charles won't cut him off completely.
He's fine.
There was some
He'll be
speculation
alright.
about him becoming Governor General of Canada, which I think is fucking man.
Wow.
Party on. Why not?
Absolutely, I think that
I don't know. What
very
kind of
cool.
experience or schooling does he have in that kind of poli-science world?
Well, it's better than the fucking
What's the
drama
one that we
teacher
got now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, how does being a drama teacher
God,
qualified to
fucking
become
running the
prime
country
minister?
right now.
No, the Governor General. Like what? He's a pilot. That doesn't mean he can
Well,
do that.
Well,
Our
Governor General is
Governor
just
General's an
basically just a
astronaut.
figurehead.
And our
Right, it's not
Governor
a-
General right now was an astronaut, right?
Well, our Prime Minister has taken this country downhill real fast, and he's an instructor at it. So if this doesn't work, he's
He does it.
he's
He
a
does.
pilot Governor General. He can crash and burn.
He has a maid. The only duty of the Governor General is just to be a figurehead for the monarchy. That's it.
It's
So you gotta be-
representing the Queen.
You got to be British to do it.
No.
But I think that's a great
Let's
idea.
get fucking Don Cherry for Governor General.
Yeah, there we go.
And if you people don't like it, sorry.
Those people.
The people.
That's all he had to do.
The people.
If he had said the people instead of you people, it would have been fine.
Yeah,
The
because
people who don't wear poppies instead of you people who don't wear poppies. Would have been fine. Oh, God. Fucking grapes. Love you.
yeah, you know what? He'll be back.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, because their ratings have dropped down through the fucking floor. It's like nobody wants to watch fucking Hinnick anymore.
No.
So what do you got, Dan?
Scorching case of herpes.
Okay.
He's
All
like,
right.
fire,
Good.
fire.
No, I don't have.
Not in
herpes.
your beard, I know.
I don't have. Herpes.
Oh, don't you touch it when you announce that?
I don't have. Herpes. I don't really have anything. I was talking about World War III earlier. Talked about grapes. Yeah, it's
How
pretty.
about chicken wings?
Oh no!
I don't have anything to say.
Nothing on that.
You've got nothing, Tony.
Nothing.
Don't stir the pot.
All right. Shauna Lee.
I
What you
don't know.
got?
I don't know. A little sad about Australia right now. Like,
Yeah.
pretty sad about that. I've been
That's
seeing a
horrible.
lot of stuff on the media that I don't like to particularly see, and I don't know. That's kind of sad. So I'm hoping that that's gonna, you know, kind of start fading off here soon. My mother's actually booked a cruise at the end of next month, and it's supposed to start in Sydney.
Oh.
So they're actually now saying they might not be doing the cruises if the fires, you know, the smoke and the air quality. and
Yeah, they
stuff,
need
so
the
might
waterways
actually
open, yeah.
Not be doing those, which I mean that's not the end of the world. 'cause
So they
there'll
won't be having
other
brisket on their first meal.
Oh, come on.
What, kangaroo? It's gamey.
Yeah, no, I'm just hoping that Australia
Well,
they
smoked.
get some
Anything
rain,
smoked.
and I'm hoping that these fires stop.
Did you see that post about the dog that came back with a little baby koala on its back?
I saw that. I know it's so
Yeah,
sweet.
that was
Animals are so
I can't
great.
even
They
talk about it. It's
brought it back to his house, his owner's house. Had this little baby koala on its back,
Oh,
Yeah.
and obviously took him out of danger. I thought that was just amazing. Don't even
Richie Rich, what do you got?
shit on
I'm
that.
not saying.
I know your face.
I was just gonna say. That's a fucking koala. It lives off eucalyptus. It's headed for extinction anyway. Fuck it.
Oh, damn.
Oh, boy.
Did you know any of them?
Okay, negative Nelly. You're down.
Oh, God.
What do you got?
I'd like to add a little bit to Australia, being a former firefighter. You sick fucks that are lighting these fires.
I know.
I was just going to bring that up.
Smarten up.
Smart.
Yeah, well,
Lord.
it's like you said, a leopard never changes his
No,
spots.
it doesn't. And especially, unfortunately, I've heard there's a few firefighters that have been charged with lighting them down there.
Get out of town.
Why would
Yeah,
they do
it
that?
happens
For
more
what
than you think.
purpose?
Didn't you see Backdraft?
Arsonists,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
But
I
like,
hope
for
if you
what
lit
purpose,
any,
though?
I hope you get caught, and I
Yes.
hope you get
Higher
hung
budget.
from a burnt tree, assholes.
Higher budget.
Smarten up.
More fires. More
Exactly.
money gets
That's all I gotta
allocated
say.
to it. Higher budget. More pay.
And probably more
See, as a volunteer-
recognition,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
As a volunteer, you don't get paid.
That's just, yeah,
But
so
when it's wildland,
they have to put
They
more
get
money
paid.
into it,
They get
and
paid by
they get
that.
more recognition, yeah. that's-
DJ Kaz, you got something else?
Yeah, it was one story I was going to ask you guys about that happened before Christmas. It was in England, and
Shocker.
have any of you ever heard of Catherine Jenkins? She's an opera singer. Okay, she's a tiny little thing, blonde, but
It's a wee thing.
yeah,
itty bitty,
yeah,
Like a
but
little
she's got a
pug?
huge soprano
like a
voice.
baby pug.
Oh, Stevie.
Mine just went. Pew.
Well, just before Christmas, she was getting ready to go to rehearsals for a carol service she was performing in. And she came across this elderly lady being mugged by a couple of 15-year-old teenage girls, and she actually, I mean, she's a slight woman, you know, Sandra, tiny,
She broke
like
bad
you.
on their ass.
And she went in there and she got hurt. You know, she got hurt, but she got these 15-year-old girls off this woman. It was a brutal attack, apparently. The elderly lady was hurt. But she went in there and you know, got the police, but she got hurt, you know, but stopped this elderly lady from being... Would you all, especially Shauna, I mean, I know the guy's stock answer is going to be yes, I would have been in there, like,
Yeah.
but Sandra, sorry, is that all right to say your name?
Yeah.
Or should I call you Peanut? Peanut Gallery. Shauna, do you think in the heat of the moment you
course
would have
I-
jumped in?
Of course I probably would,
Yeah.
because we all have grandmothers, and
Yeah.
like, you know, if that, you
Yeah.
think that was your grandmother,
Yeah.
what would you do? Of
Oh,
course I'd jump in
absolutely,
there and
absolutely. It was just
I'd probably get my ass tanned, but
exactly.
I would try.
Because they were a bunch of 15-year-old teenage
I
thugs.
will whoop a 15-year-old
Yeah.
girl's ass
Yeah.
every day of the week and
Yeah.
twice on Sunday.
I don't know about that, bud.
But like 30-year-old dude in there or something like that, I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'll call the cops.
Yeah, but that's what bugs me about.
I'll call the cops. But yeah, 15-year-old girl, I'll fucking get in there and throw down. Why not? What's the worst gonna happen?
Yeah, and then you get charged with assault. That's great.
That's what bugs me, Will.
Next thing you know,
They
you got
say,
two problems.
Oh, they were only 15 years old, or 16, or 17 years old. They were only kids. Okay, we just had the World Juniors last week, or a couple of weeks ago. 15, 16-year-old, 17-year-old kids playing world-class hockey, as good as any NHL caliber, and it's just as tough, just as strong, and just as
Yeah.
mean. Okay?
If not-
Yeah.
Would you take on any one of those kids on the World Junior team?
Yeah.
They're fucking huge and the strongest they'll probably ever be in their life.
Yeah.
But when they go out and
Well, if it
create a
came
crime,
between me and them, then, you know, I'll go down.
They go out and do a crime. Oh, he's just a child. No,
Yeah.
he's a 200-pound piece of meat that doesn't have a brain in his head. smart enough to control his body or thoughts.
That is out there. I don't know if you guys remember Elizabeth Smart, the girl who got kidnapped in
Yes.
Utah. She was 15 years old.
Yes.
Now, these 15-year-old girls who mugged this elderly woman, do you try them as adults and give them throw the book at them?
Yes.
Absolutely. Now,
should be a provision,
this
yes.
Elizabeth Smart who got kidnapped and was taken out in public, she's taken out to like fucking Walmart and shit, and it's like, well, why didn't she? Well, she's only 15. She's a child. Well, how old is 15? You can be tried as an adult for a crime, but you're so sweet and naive, you can't say, hey, I've been kidnapped in like the middle of like a department store. It's like, how old is 15?
I think there was a lot of Stockholm syndrome going on with her.
Okay, bad example.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that's true. And she was, I mean, from her background, stuff like that, and easily brainwashed. I mean, that's like.
But how?
Let's face it, she was
But there
terrified.
are 15-year-old, especially girls, that develop faster than boys, who are basically adults. They can rationalize and make grown-up decisions. And there are 15-year-olds who you're just like, are you fucking short a chromosome? Like, why? What are you thinking?
But they still have the physical body to be able to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
If they want to assault that woman, okay, you don't go assault her in an alleyway and beat the shit out of her, and when you get caught, go, because you're big enough and strong enough now that you're 15 to do it, and when you get caught, go, oh, I'm only 15.
Well, the whole thing is again.
So wait.
You know right.
If you're strong enough to do it, suffer the consequences.
You know right from wrong.
Now that's you know right from wrong. That's a mental thing. But back to
At 15, you know right from wrong.
But back to the physical thing.
Yeah.
Full-grown man who's got the mind of a child because he's mentally retarded.
Good point.
You're big and strong enough to do something.
Here's the thing.
Wait. Now, do you even take it a step further off of mental retardation, mental illness? Now, you're somebody who's been abused sexually your entire life, and now you're 18 years old, and you go out there and you smack up a woman. Now, you're big enough and physically enough to do that. But you have the mental capacity of somebody much younger because you've been through so much.
Yeah, but these two were clearly not that case.
Well, we don't know that.
They weren't clearly, they were clearly
obviously
not
we do,
that.
because they decided to do it together, they planned it together, and they carried it out together, they teamed up together. So that shows that they are smart enough to make the decision.
Kids do that shit. Kids gang up on other kids on the playground all the fucking time.
Absolutely.
That's why I said basically. Thank you for alluding to that. Is the fact that in this day and age, back when I was a wee person in the school ground, it was always one-on-one. It was like, you got a bone to pick with me, I got a bone to pick with you. We meet out by the bike racks or off school grounds. We go kick the shit out of each other.
That's your peers.
I know, but
That's
the thing
not
is,
15-year-old
but the
against
thing is,
grandma.
but the thing is, when it becomes a pack mentality, that's when people get brave about and doing extra stupid things other than just having a beef with each other. That's where they go. When you start ganging up in a group, that's where you start going. You're backing each other up and you're going, hey, well, you know, we can do this. Now we can do this. Now, okay, we can do this. We got away with that. Now we can do this. You know, that's a gang mentality or a pack mentality. It's just like it's bullshit. You know, like and they deserve.
But if they're doing that,
no, they deserve to get their fucking asses kicked.
if they're smart enough to be able to do that and execute it, then suffer the consequences at the other end of the road, buddy.
That's right. I think that they should be taken out and have the shit kicked out of them. Simple as that.
That or
not put them in the hospital, but just fucking enough to fucking go, hey. You know, some people need that.
But don't stand in front of a judge and go, oh, I didn't know any differently because I was only 15.
Okay, now the other philosophical question is, I see a dude and he's like beating he's like beating up an old lady, and I'm like, ah, shit. I'm not gonna jump in on that. I'm just gonna stand back here. I'll call the cops.
Yes.
And that old lady dies because I didn't jump in and help. Am I criminally responsible?
No.
You're morally culpable.
No, because he's called the police.
I called the police, but
morally and spiritually culpable.
I'm not jumping in there to say.
Police will tell you to stay out of it.
And call them. No, he's not
job.
morally culpable.
But in the meantime,
she can't take that beating.
You know, if she can't take the, they take
If
10
you
minutes to
called it,
respond,
if
and
he did
she's
nothing
dead,
and walked
He
away,
jumps in and he ends up dying.
Then he'd be
His
morally.
kids don't have a father. His wife doesn't have a husband.
I don't know.
If you don't call the police.
No, call the police.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you call the police, then you're
You're
good. You're good.
Yeah, I'd be in it.
I know
Yeah.
you. I know you're a volunteer. You're a former volunteer firefighter. You are that kind of guy. I am not that kind of guy. I'm not.
And to
I could.
But you would call the police.
Oh, I'd call
So
it. I'd
that's
call it.
good.
I wouldn't like fucking
Yeah.
Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
And
Well, the whole thing
accused
is
them.
that I think the whole thing is it all depends on the
You know what I'm talking
situation.
about.
I know exactly what
Yeah.
All depends on the situation. Yes, call the police, but you assess what's going on. What do they have? Are they got a gun? They got a knife? They got this? They got that? You know, you assess what
And am
the
I
fuck.
capable of making a difference if I do go in?
Yeah, you have to assess
Yeah,
any
you-
situation before you
That's
wade into it.
Exactly,
Maybe-
because you could make it
You don't
worse.
just thoughtlessly go fucking right into it.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're packing. If you carry a gun, then it's like, hey, you know.
Did you guys
You
see
can stop
that?
that
The church down in Texas. The guy walked in with the assault rifle and he went. Fucking moron went to shoot up a church in fucking Texas. So he walks in with a gun. He's like, I'm gonna shoot at this church, and everyone, it's Texas, so they all stood up with their guns and went boom, and they fucking killed the motherfucker. And he
Bravo.
didn't get one.
Yes, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Ow.
Yes,
I did not
exactly.
hear that
Oh,
story.
dude, it's like the funniest fucking shit.
It
It's
is
like,
the best.
How stupid do you have to be
It is
to try
the
to
best.
do a mass shooting in Texas? Everyone's packing.
Which brings about another fucking point about disarming citizens in Canada. Yeah, Dave, I'm going to do it. I'm going to say it.
Yeah, go for it, buddy.
I firmly believe in right to bear arms in Canada, not assault
Hey,
weapons,
producer.
because there's absolutely no reason to own an assault weapon. Rich,
I absolutely agree. There's
no reason for us to own an assault weapon.
no.
It's fun.
A handgun?
It's fun.
No, you go out and shoot one on the range and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
You know,
and the
have
same-
fun with it.
Yeah,
But
it's fun.
Same
there's
for the
absolutely
assault,
there's
same for
absolutely
assault
no
weapon.
reason to own an assault weapon in your home.
It's fun.
At all.
It's fun.
Sure,
Other than sports, like
sports shooting or whatever. Yeah.
Same as a handgun on a range. They're
Fair
fun
enough.
to go shoot at a range. I've
It's
done it.
fun to own a fucking big ass gun that can shoot a bunch of rounds. You take it to the range and
But
you shoot it off. It's
right
the exact
now-
same as owning a fucking Corvette.
Yeah.
It is Calgary. It is 8 months out of the year. There's road salt. You're gonna destroy that car. It's got 2 seats. It's got no fucking trunk. There's no reason to own a Corvette. You want to drive it? Go to the race city and rent one and drive it around, and go to here and rent one and drive it around. Why do you own a Corvette? Same reason you own an assault gun. Because you got the money and it's fucking fun to do.
All right, excellent. I agree with that. And the thing is, but what I don't agree with is our government that is planning on relieving us of any kind of way of defending ourselves in a way of handguns. Handgun is to me.
Yeah, but
is,
it's going to start with handguns, then it'll move on. You know, I'm
And-
a hunter. I have guns. Okay.
Yeah.
The
I
latest
have
I've
owned
heard
guns.
is- yeah, I have old guns. I have new guns.
Yeah.
Ones I don't hunt with. Ones I do hunt with.
Yeah.
Regardless, I have guns. I have weapons in my house. I have ammunition in my house. They're locked. They're stored properly.
Stay the fuck away
Okay.
from his house.
Yeah.
Point is, I have never done anything wrong with my guns.
Right.
I never will.
Yeah, if you don't have a criminal record.
God
you're not
knows
shot
what the
up
future
church
is
or
going to
something.
bring.
Well, they want to relieve you of those.
Yeah, I know, and that's what scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
How do you
Because
How do
that's
you feel
the
about
first step. That's the first step in communism is fucking
Tell you in a
basically
minute.
disarm your public.
How do,
How do you control the masses? Disarm them.
how do you
Right.
guys? How do you two feel about guns?
I don't think that anybody should have an assault rifle except people who are in the forces. But I agree that anyone who hunts can have their guns, and anybody who needs a gun for protection.
That's what I was gonna say. We have
Yeah.
we have a couple of guns in our house,
Yeah.
and
But
you know
an
what, the
assault
thing is,
rifle.
if somebody breaks in, we get, and you know, there's like break-ins. You know, there's these home invasions. Like you
More
get
so
and
now,
more and
Calgary
more
has the biggest-
all the time of home invasions. Some guy breaks in. 2 guys break into our house at 3 in the morning, and they're trying to rape me or kill my husband or whatever. Fucking A rights, I want that gun behind my bed to protect myself with. Yes, absolutely.
Actually, you know what? Your
Well,
opinion,
Calgary
your
rate-
opinion on this is kind of skewed because your cops don't even have guns.
No, they do now.
They got whistles and little billy clubs.
truncheons.
And they got those hats with the big mutton chops, and they're like, "Jump in the morning to you. You guys doing anything wicked?"
You know, a truncheon in the shins is a very fucking effective.
That I a lot of
Don't you rob that person. I'll blow my whistle at
What?
you.
Now we'll see it.
Stop or I'll say stop again. Yeah.
Excuse me, but a lot of the cops in England do have guns now.
You know what else is weird? Your guys' sirens.
Yeah. That's everywhere in
Oh,
Europe.
that's like nails in a chalk.
Oh, it is, yeah.
Oh my god, it's worse than
You always know. You always
That's
know when
why I
the
love my country of birth.
you always know when the
I would've-
alcohol's kicking in on this show.
I would have
Just
driven
get
in.
stupid from here.
I would have driven into a Paris tunnel pillar too if I
Oh!
But yeah,
Paris
I
Tunnel,
will
pillar.
say though, yes, guns for protection.
She was head on
in this
bullet.
day and age, absolutely. I don't like guns. I hate
No.
guns. But you know what though? Like I said, if someone breaks into my house and tries to hurt me or my husband or you know what I mean, yes, absolutely, I'll use that fucking gun.
And this brings up a good point. And I'll tell you
Absolutely.
something right now is that in Alberta right now, we have the highest crime rate we've ever had.
I know.
We have also the highest suicide rate we've ever had. All right, due to what? Due to the fact that our
Trudeau.
economy has tanked. Well, not Trudeau. It's the government.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
our
government.
previous government along with the government now. Our previous provincial government along with the government now. And yeah, absolutely. It's like
no.
you kill the oil and gas sector, you kill jobs. It's a trickle down effect.
I understand it's a trickle-down effect, and I understand there's a macho, masculine mentality of bringing home the bacon, and you got to worry about that kind of thing, and you got to worry about the economy.
Have you seen the
But
women?
that can
Have
be
you seen
fucking-
the women in the oil patch?
But that could be fucking talked
It's not
through.
about being a man bringing home
No,
the bacon.
that could be
It's
fucking-
about a fucking worker.
But that's what it is. The suicide rate is highest amongst men. We all know this, and that's what's skyrocketing right now when you talk about suicide rates in Alberta. It's men. And you guys, if there's proper help available, we wouldn't have that.
True. True.
And this is why you're actually wrong on this. You guys know I'm a fucking conservative, and you know I hate the NDP, but one thing they did do was put a lot of money, the NDP did, into mental health care and into public health sectors to deal with these kind of things, and the UCPs are actually slashing those budgets, and I think the suicide problem can only actually get worse unless the economy improves. But regardless...
The whole thing is that I agree with you to a certain point, but the thing is that what's the root cause of suicide?
Mental health.
Mental health,
Depression.
and also opioid crisis by any chance? Opioids?
Depression.
Depression.
Like Shauna said.
Depression definitely is one.
Absolutely.
one.
Depression by what? By the fact that
Financial.
you're not having gainful occupation. You got people that are losing jobs.
It's that, but it's also genetic. We also know that depression and anxiety is genetic, and the government
yes, that
needs
is
to
true.
make it more affordable to go and see psychiatrists and psychologists. It's too expensive.
That is
means
true.
The costs need to come down so that people can go and talk
Yeah.
about their issues.
Yeah.
I agree with Dan on this.
Yeah.
I've been there myself, as we've talked about before, and my doctor told me how much it would cost to actually talk to a psychologist. It's ridiculously expensive for
Right.
one
What's the
session.
difference between mental health and physical health when it comes to your overall well-being? Why
Nothing.
is that not covered?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Hands
as
down, should be.
important, if not
There
more.
was a great post on YouTube about something being covered and chemo not being covered. I can't remember what the something was, and that's the important part. What it
I'm
does-
glad you brought it up then.
Yeah, no, the point being is, Dan, that our government is not in line with what we should be covering.
Yeah.
Mental health is one of the big issues.
Yes,
Yep.
Exactly.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And the thing is, and then you go back to what are the root causes of poor mental health in Alberta?
You have to, obviously.
And
And
now I'm not just saying it's unemployment. I'm just saying there's other things. There's unemployment. There's opioids.
Genetic.
With genetic, of course.
Like you
There's-
say, like opioids, as if it's a precursor to mental health. Mental health is a precursor to opioids. You wouldn't have opioids contributing to mental health suicides if the mental health didn't lead you to a path where thinking drugs are the solution.
What would you
If
consider-
you had proper mental health facilities,
Yes.
you wouldn't have the idea in your head of, I can't bring home the bacon, I don't have a lifted truck, and I'm not working in the patch, I'm useless, I need to kill myself. The economy,
Yeah.
the opioids, none of that would fucking matter if proper
No.
access was given to the people
Because-
in the first
Okay,
place.
hang on a second, I want to make a point
they
here.
use the opioids to mask.
Mental health is the pillar,
They
not
use
the
the
effect.
Okay,
opioids to mask
Yes.
the real problem.
Fair enough.
Exactly.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, so Dan, what would be a root cause to poor mental health?
Upbringing.
Off of a scale that we're talking about of
Genetics and upbringing.
upbringing. Okay, genetics, yeah. Upbringing, yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of upbringing? What kind of upbringing would you could you what do you see as something that could give you a bad mental health problem in your upbringing?
I think it's irresponsible to comment on it because I don't have mental health issues.
No, but you're making a broad blanket statement. I just wanted what would something you would consider being
I don't know, Tony. I don't personally suffer from from mental health issues that I'm aware of. Maybe I do. Maybe
there's a mirror right there.
Yeah, maybe other people see things in me that I don't. But I don't know. So I don't know what could contribute. Something in my upbringing could trigger it in somebody else, but it didn't in me. So with the utmost, in all due respect, I think it's irresponsible to comment on. Well, you know, if this happened to you as a kid, clearly you're fucked up in the head, and someone out there is watching this saying, "Well, that happened to me as a kid. I thought I was fine. Maybe I'm fine."
My question would be, why is it spiking in 2019, 2020 over any other years?
Because all these things you're talking about.
Because awareness is being raised.
Sorry?
If you don't mind.
Sure.
Because awareness is being raised. We know now that, you know, it's not the Monday blues. Maybe it's this. Yeah. Oh, you know, back in the day, unless you fucking came home and drank a bottle of Jack and beat the shit out of your wife, that was alcoholism. But yeah, he only drinks 4 or 5 beers a night. That's fine. No, that's alcoholism now. Mm-hmm. Things are progressing and we know more. And people can identify things easier. Oh man, I just thought I had trouble sleeping at night because it was too hot or too cold. Well, no, it turns out you have an anxiety disorder. We're learning more about ourselves.
Absolutely.
Which is why more people are standing up and saying, I have this. Who else has this? Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can get past it or at least find solace in each other's struggles.
And that's why there's groups for that.
And that's why it's getting higher and higher. It seems like we're getting worse when actually we're getting better because we're getting...
It's out in the open.
It's getting more out in the open.
And yeah. That's what's happening. Back in the day, if you had a depressive
wife, you could drop her off at the mental institution and say, "See the fuck later."
That was it. They would put you in an asylum and leave you there.
Yep.
But you know, as the years, the decades have gone by, more has been learned about every different type of depression. My grandmother had postpartum depression. I only found out about that a few years ago. Mm-hmm. My mum had clinical depression and is still on antidepressants 30 years later.
Yeah.
So it was no surprise that I had an issue with it in 2010, and now I have an anxiety issue. You know, it can be a genetic thing, but back more is being learned about it, and I think that's why you see more people being open about their issues.
Well, that's a good point, and the whole thing is that you know, Dave and I come from a generations of suck it up, Buttercup, fucking stop your crying or give us something to cry about.
Yeah,
you know,
that's kind of where
it doesn't have nothing. It has nothing to do with fucking how you feel. You weren't allowed feelings, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct? You don't have feelings.
No.
It's like fucking get to work. Fuck, you know, like shut up.
Sorry, what, Rich?
This is my point. We came from that.
Yeah.
You know.
Sorry. Yeah, Rich.
Stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about kind of syndrome, right?
Yeah.
You know.
You
I remember in
feelings.
elementary, you'd get the strap across the hand in front of the class.
Yeah.
You know, it was a tougher world then.
Yeah.
I had a fucking pet that died
these-
on me if I went to school crying. A fucking teacher told me to fucking suck it up.
Yeah.
You know, like it was like fucking okay.
We know better.
Exactly.
Now, and that's
Prime
great.
example,
We know
firefighting.
Yeah, go ahead.
20,
Yeah, go ahead.
20 years ago. You go to a horrific accident, a horrific fire, and see things you don't want to see. Get back to the hall. Suck it up. Suck it up. Now they're realizing, you know, these guys need help. But these people need help. Counseling is the biggest
We
thing.
have a personal friend.
My personal
Go ahead.
point about what we're talking about here. All these problems we have are underlying problems in everybody's life. Everybody has something.
Everybody's
Everybody's got something. And as long as everything's rolling along fine, you know, our parents went through it, they dealt with it the way they dealt with it, the grandparents, us, and now our
Yeah,
kids.
the grandparents never talked about their experiences in
No,
the
but
war.
it was, they all had it, they all dealt with it, it was all in their lives.
Yeah.
Now that is becoming more mainstream and forefront and open, which it needs to become.
Yeah.
And then you temper that with a bunch of millennial crybabies that have everything handed to them and presumptuous kids that think, okay, I'm going to go to Alberta and make a shitload of money and have the lifted truck.
Yeah, and you get an award for being fucking 10th.
Yeah. There's no more first, second, and third. Everybody gets a trophy.
Okay,
Fuck. This is a kind of
you're gonna retort.
baby society that we're living in, but it's also very real because we all still have these problems, and then all of a sudden the oil crunch comes, and now all these people are, and I'm not going to say you people, but all these people are finding this financial crisis pound on top of them, and they don't know how to deal with it. Hence the higher suicides and the alcohol.
Yeah, when they have to close businesses, when they have to fucking
when we need to jump out and say, hey,
yeah, when they have to fucking close their business, they have to fucking shut down.
This is a straight line you got to walk on.
But
that's when we don't have the resources here to do that, and it's going out of control.
That millennial crybaby generation was born out of how they were parented.
In a bubble.
Correct.
They were born out of a parenting group
that handed them everything.
That had no consequences. Hold on. That parenting group that raised the millennials were raised by people who said, fucking suck it up.
No.
Don't, no, listen to me.
No.
Listen to me.
You're missing a gap.
Listen to me. There was, like, people my age were raised by people who were raised by people, like my grandparents' generation told my parents' generation, you suck it up, you fucking tough it up, that's life. And then my parents said that, my parents' generation said, that was so hard on me as a kid, I wish I just had someone to talk to, I wish it was a little bit easier. And they went to the extreme opposite. And they raised, like, you millennials, you fucking suck. We all know that. But I don't blame you. It wasn't your fault. You were raised in a fucking protective suit because the previous generation didn't know this kind of stuff. And I think the next big generation, not these Gen Zers, but the generation the millennials raise are realizing, like, oh, okay.
Well, it's actually the generation that the Gen X's are raising.
And that's the point I was trying to make too.
It's going to be a good mix of everything.
Good point.
That is a good point. Like you said, the parents were like marched upon their whole lives. So they said, when I have kids, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going
to. Here's one thing that
now you've got this generation of little kids in bubbles, and they're so protected from everything, and that's good.
Here's the one thing is that the day and time, or the era, of when there was no consequences to actions, of it was like, okay, well, you know, we're not going to paddle him in the bum and give him a sharp reprimand for stepping on a line, knowing that we're doing what they were doing. To you can't beat your kids, and the government telling us that. No, you don't beat your kids. You don't take it beyond. But a sharp reprimand is one thing. It's basically a guidance.
A good ass smacking is needed sometimes.
Well, shit, look at the fucking, you just walk through a Walmart and you got a kid fucking collapsing on the ground and the parent going, oh, you know, let's talk about it. You know, they're like your little friend. They're like a little adult. They're not little adults. They're fucking kids.
You got a good crack on the ass when you screwed up, same as I did growing up.
Oh, I was spanked.
What is the line?
Until I was like 8.
Where's the line?
All right, here's the line right here. Now on the left side of it, throwing a tantrum in the Walmart, you're allowed to spank your kid in public.
Yes.
Totally.
Yes.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right. Kid comes home.
You know what? I'll tell you what. If you don't, fucking, you should allow fucking other strangers to do it.
So spank your kid in Walmart is on the left side of this line. Now you know your kid is smart. You think your kid is pretty smart, and they come home with an F. Are you allowed to spank them? Because clearly they're just fucking off. No, okay.
Well, no, sister. I came home with shitty marks. I came home with shitty marks. So I never got spanked for it.
Okay,
but I got fucking reprimanded for it.
Okay, great. Yes. So spanking your kid if they throw a tantrum in a Walmart, this side of the line, totally okay.
Smack in the ass, yeah.
Smack on the ass if you
Smack
know.
on the ass,
Smack
yeah.
on the ass
Smack
if
on the
you
ass,
know they
knock
could
it
do
off.
better because they're bringing home Fs. Unacceptable.
No.
So, but see, this is the thing. So one is helping your child because you're raising them proper. One is fucking physical abuse. Now you need to literally write out literally every little scenario from when it's okay to spank your kid and when it's not okay to spank your kid, because that is the world you live in now. One is, you just said, one is abuse, one is not abuse.
Yes.
So you need to write everything out. That's why you have to fucking just blanket it and say, no, you're not allowed to fucking hit your kid.
So do you write that out in cursive or print it?
Okay.
I'm all for spanking. I got
Wait.
spanked.
Tony
I'm just
had
Hang
saying.
on a
Stand up
minute.
first.
Hang on a minute. The peanut gallery, Sandra wants
Yes.
to say something.
I'm sorry, but
Speak loud.
I'm a grandma of 5 grandchildren.
Fucking hot, Grandma.
But anyways, thank you. But my daughter was at the movie theater last weekend with my granddaughter, who is like antsy. And sitting in a chair, she wouldn't sit still, so she took her shoes and her socks and everything like that. And my daughter like reprimanded her in the movie theater, and she had 5 other people looking at her and saying, "What are you doing?"
Like
she didn't
dirty
hit
looks.
her. She didn't do anything to her. She was reprimanding her because my granddaughter takes off. She takes off everywhere. But
Point
for
being.
what you're saying is, if you hit your child in Walmart, you are going to get more than just a stare down. You're going to get
You're gonna get charged with
a
assault.
lot of things going on.
You're gonna get charged with
I
assault.
can tell you that right now.
That's
Because
the point
it's a
I wanted to
blanket.
make, was the fact
Yeah,
that smacking your kid in Walmart is illegal because the government said
Oh
so.
my God.
Right.
And that's bullshit.
So now the peanut
Right off the
gallery
bat.
will voice their opinion. Our upbringing from children in the 60s.
Holy shit, I took a look.
We were allowed in school, if you broke their rules, not your parents' rules, not the government rules, their rules, you got scrapped.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
strap
Did
with
you
the red
get it?
stripe down. Oh, yeah.
So did I.
So did I.
So yeah, I got
Yeah.
Grade 2, how old are you? 6 years old?
Yeah.
Just strapped.
Grade 2 for me,
hand.
on the hand,
Beat
yeah.
red. Stinging.
I'm not
Oh.
saying. I'm
Hey,
not.
I haven't killed anybody yet.
I'm not
yet.
You turned out just fine.
I'm not
Thank you,
saying.
sweetie.
I'm not saying don't spank. I'm not saying that spanking your kids is bad. I'm a firm believer in spare the rod, spoil the child, personally. But when you're talking about legality, it has to be black and white. And black and white is, you just said, acting up in Walmart, totally okay to spank him. Gets an F, not okay to spank him.
No, you
Oh, I
should,
didn't
no,
say
no, hold
not
on.
okay.
Hang on.
I
Whoa.
said I wouldn't.
I got a point here.
So you would. So that is your own personal code of conduct.
100%.
I think
No.
it's your kid,
Which
you
is
think
unacceptable
it's
because
ways.
one is okay, now let's move it up. Your kid, he's washing the dishes, he drops a plate and it shatters. You come over and fucking tear him one across the
That's
face.
wrong.
That's
No.
an accident.
That's assault.
That's no.
I wouldn't do
I wouldn't
that,
do
though.
that though because it's an accident.
But this
Drop the
is
plate.
your code
It's
of
an
conduct.
But
This
back
is
to-
not
back
somebody
to
else's.
the original
That's
point.
why you have to make it, how drunk is drunk driving? I only had 1 beer.
Right.
I only had
I
20 beers.
understand.
It affects people differently.
Yeah.
It's a personal code of conduct, which I'm okay with people doing.
Back to your original
but
point.
Total, in a legality format, you have to make it black and white. Either all of it's okay or none of it is.
Okay, you need a third column.
Huh?
You need a third column. All right, so the kid acts up in Walmart, gets his ass spanked.
All right.
All right, kid gets an F, doesn't get spanked.
Okay.
Teacher gets spanked.
I can remember.
There you go.
I can remember a few teachers I'd like to.
There you go. Now
Thank you.
now
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
I can remember a few teachers I wouldn't let spank.
I
Thank
like
you.
that.
That's a fantasy.
Thank you.
I like that.
Separate them.
All right. This has been the longest
That's the
show
show
ever.
we're
I
gonna
gotta
have.
piss.
You're out. This has been Tony Tattoo. Dan the Ratman's already out. DJ Kaz, Retro Queen. We got Shauna Lee. We got Richie Rich. We're peace out. Please, I'll tell you what. If you watch this episode and you want to add to the conversation, which I'm sure probably everybody be bursting to do, please join us for the conversation on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, especially because that's where our old people live. And I'll tell you what, please, just this week or the next couple of weeks, because we're doing it 2 weeks in between shows, because we actually have to put together material for the show. Well, actually, the material puts itself together. Anyway, so again, please, you know what? Be nice to somebody. Give somebody a hug. Give somebody a tag. Buy somebody's Timmy's behind you in a line. Whatever. Do something nice.
Open a door for an old couple. You know, stuff like that.
Absolutely. What about Rich?
Nope.
Yep.
And if you are having troubles in life, talk to someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just,
you know
what? Do what I do. Just get drunk and on wine and talk to your friends.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll tell you what. Even better.
Girls over,
It's
have
great.
a nice wine night and just
Get a mirror.
Great therapy,
Yeah.
but seriously, do it. Talk to someone.
Even better. You know what? I'll tell you what. If you are having difficulties that you can't talk to anybody about, right into our show. Talk to us. We're always. You know what? My phone's on 24/7. Our media's on 24/7.
We're not
Any
doctors,
of these people
but
here,
friends.
we're not doctors. Yeah, we'll
But
listen.
we're friends.
Yeah, we won't give diagnosis, but we'll have an ear.
We do have life experience.
And keep it in between the ditches. Wide open YYC out.